oxytocin is the bonding hormone, and I've just seen it so many times play out where a dog was like, I like you, I like the treats, but I still don't trust you. And when I came in and I tested for touch and then I started touching him in the places that they like and they really enjoyed it and they lean against me, that is typically the moment where the dog lowers the battle shield entirely, turns his back to me, parks his butt up against me, and says, more, please. And at that point, typically as a trainer, I can do no wrong. I'm in. Do not run, take that and run with it. There is a lot of nuance when it comes to testing for redirection, knowing when you're going to start touching the dog, and then touching the dog in a very measured and strategic way so that you can raise the chances that the dog is not going to be spooked, that the dog is going to like it, and that the dog is going to want it. And so now you're in. There's just, I could do a whole fucking webinar on that. And there's been some times in session where I touched a dog and I was like, don't you fucking do that. And I went, okay. So you have to know what you're doing so that you don't create more issue. But it is a way to seal the deal, so to speak.
You might want to wear gloves with that one because you don't need any more holes.
That's going to be more than a hole. That dog gets a hold of me.
Yeah.
We don't want to wreck any more tattoos, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be the dog to eviscerate me more than the last dog did. And no, I can't think, of all the dogs that I work, there's no dog that tore my arm, that could tear my arm apart like the Dutch Shepherd that did, and that dog absolutely could. One bite and he nicked his owner's artery. Probably won't be using glove, but it will be a good session for you to watch because at the place that I go to test to touch the dog, everything that I do is so that the dog is entirely comfortable with it. It's not a, let's see how this goes. It's more of a, this dog is entirely comfortable with me. I'll even sometimes bottle feed, especially for that peanut butter, at the same time as I don't surprise them. Sometimes the flank stuff that I do and the butt stuff that I do and the massages, that's off to the side. And if they don't get touched there a whole lot, because surprised dog owners don't know, that's actually a fucking, one of the best places, the massaging the hips and the scratching the ass. If they don't do that very often, then that itself creates too much novelty and now the dog is completely off put by it. So what I'll typically do is I'll start with the spots that I know dogs like. The only reason that a dog scratches behind its fucking ears is because it likes its neck scratched. And so I'll use these techniques where I'll give treats and at the same time I'll scratch the neck one side. I'll look for the dog to lean into it. They like it. It's a very just real quick. How does it feel? My hand is clearly there. There was no insecure side glancing at my hand when it was clearly there. I touched. Dog liked it. I pulled back. How did you feel? How do you think? Come back. Do it again. Leaned into it. Dog liked it. And now the dog is really leaning into it. And now there is a typically a dog will show you that they want it again. They'll come up to you closer, they'll lean in, all those things. And if that happens, I'm in and I'm pouring it on and I'm experimenting with all the other places. If it really doesn't work out like that and the dog is not really, then I'll leave it alone entirely. But based on the way he interacted with his owner, I feel like that's going to be a good avenue for me. And pitties fucking love that too. All right, essentially, I'm